Hey, what's up, Primrose?
Hey, what's up, Michelle?
How are you?
I am well. I have no complaints. What the hell are you laughing for? I could complain that I ain't had penis since September,
Oh God!
but I won't. I'll keep that shit to myself.
We all want to talk about dick today. I don't think you said we were. I learned that I have to be very specific with what I ask for.
Yep.
Because what I ask for, I'm giving off that aura. And what I asked for, I recently found out that I do get it. Mm-hmm. But then I'm just like, oh, this is not all I want.
Right.
Yeah, so, I wasn't heat. I'm in no longer heat no more. But but I want more than
Lucky
just...
you.
I want more than just... I want love.
Exactly.
I want love. And I want someone who wants me. Mm-hmm. And I know that he wants me by his actions, not by his words.
Right.
Someone I don't have to tell him to do certain things, and he just already does it because that's how he wants me. And it's and it's no question about it. And so that's what I'm hoping for my future in my relationships.
Okay.
That's what I'm hoping for.
And you deserve what you want.
Mm-hmm.
I have always considered myself the relationship kind. I like to be with one person.
Yeah, monogamous.
And what I'm realizing as I'm getting older is that I believe I adapted that because of the household that I was raised in, my grandmother and grandfather, seeing them only with each other. And I like that. I like having one partner.
Yes.
I tried it in 2015. I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to go on a fucking spree with different men. And I didn't like the way my body felt.
Yeah.
I didn't like... Now, mind you, one of them was really good. But then I found out he was like the age of my son. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
That's why he was so good.
Good old.
Oh, my gosh.
It's nothing wrong with wanting what you want, and getting what you want, and meditating on what you want from a sexual perspective, from a financial perspective, from the whole idea of what you consider love. Because see, some people, and it's not that I didn't feel love without finance, but that's an important component to what keeps me happy. Mm-hmm. In a relationship that I have with someone is that they can, at the bare minimum, provide for themselves.
Yeah.
And who doesn't?
Do you feel like the woman should be at a place of providing for herself before she experiences love? Do you think?
Ask me that again.
Do you think a woman should be at a place of providing for herself financially in order to experience true love? Is that a requirement for a woman?
It depends on the woman and what her beliefs are, I believe.
Okay.
If all of us waited to get financially stable, there would be no fucking going on. There would be no love. The key component, I believe, in that is knowing. I'm sure you've probably heard this. Without a dollar in my pocket, I'm still the shit. Mm-hmm. Right? Knowing our worth, knowing that my worth is priceless. There's no dollar. There's no figure that dictates my worth as a woman, my value as a woman, and my capability to be a valuable mate to a man or a woman or whatever you choose or whatever you desire. And for the LGB, as Dave Chappelle said, the alphabet gang, it's not a choice. So I can't say who you choose to be with, but what your heart or what gender or whatever, what your heart desire is to be a valued mate. You have to first know that you have value.
Oh, yeah.
Without the money, without material possession, because there's a lot of people got together and created big things. Because they had vision and they got with the right partner, not the look. for me, I don't believe in that predestination because that takes out choice.
Yes, free will.
So free will, you get to meet people. You get to decide, wait a minute, I met this person. Not quite right. Move on, brother, sister,
Yes.
whatever. He, she, him, theirs. Because I be seeing it on some of my email and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? You know what I mean? She, hers, him, or them, or something like that.
Yeah, I be seeing it on the bio on Instagram.
Yeah, like I don't even know what that means.
I identify as they, them, but...
Right, and I even watched a program where did you watch, what's love got to do with it? What's the one? The Best Man?
Yes.
The final episodes.
Yes.
And they kept saying
he was a they.
And I'm like, how
Yeah.
I that's going to take a lot of
To get
retraining
Yes.
and getting used to
Yes.
for me to refer to one person as they.
Yes. Yes.
Because when I say they, I mean a group of
People, yes.
And I guess it's a group of people and one person.
That's my question. Are they saying they because they that person choose what gender they want to be at certain times? That's why.
I don't know why they saying it. I just know it's
why?
foreign to me. But I guess if you believe that you can function as one person or another or both genders and you don't have to identify with one or the other.
I think that's what it is.
I think that may be what it is.
You're not identifying with one another. You're just
right. They up in there.
They up in there. The both masculine and feminine or what? Yeah.
Or whatever. But going back to your question of value and do you feel like you could feel love or be loved? So your question was, let me repeat it again because I'm sitting over here thinking, and I know I can get off topic because I love to talk and there's a lot going on up here. So the original question was, do I believe that in order to be loved,
a female
to be loved, she first has to be financially stable?
Yes.
Was that the question?
Yes, that's the question.
No, because if you look at it, first of all, women, when someone meets us, they could try to look at us and decipher or try it from their perspective. Okay, what's going on in her life? Is she paid? Is she whatever? You know what I mean? What's going on with her life?
And then a man said yesterday, immediately when he meet a female, he's already asking himself, what is it she's going to require from me?
From me. And a woman with that thing like...
I know. We're so horny. We are so horny. Like, men do not know the half of how sexual we really are.
Yeah.
They say this. I heard someone, I used to date this guy, and I was not sexually attracted to him. And he said, Michelle, it will never come. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, yes, it will. And he was just no. He said,
know.
A woman knows within, he said, this is minutes. Science. He said 30 seconds within meeting a guy if she can or not. Mm-hmm. And so because I wanted to continue to date him, even though, because I thought it would come. And he told me, he said, Michelle,
it won't.
Now, and I was just like, okay, we parted ways,
With that being said, it could come a time where y'all just fuck out of curiosity. Mm-hmm. Not that you're attracted to him, but you spent this time with this person and on some level y'all have connected at least to be friends, and then y'all go out of the friend zone into the fuck zone, and then you find out that it's going to be one of two things that's going to happen. Who you screw in that moment or have sex with in that moment is either going to be really, really good, mm-hmm. or it's going to be really, really bad. Why? Because you're not attracted to the person in the first place.
Yeah.
And our attraction to a person is not always based on, for me, I'm shallow. If I see you and I don't believe that you can turn me up in that bedroom and toss me around in it, I'm not going to have any interest in getting to know you any further, because that's going to be a very important part of our relationship.
Gotcha.
Not the foundation for it, but that's going to be integral.
Are you sexually attracted to that person?
So am I sexually attracted to them? And if I'm not, then I'm going to have no curiosity about them.
Because they say a man will have sex with anyone.
He will. Because they move by what they see. That ass jangling, them titties popping, and you got a pretty face, But back to the question of, can a woman be loved without financial stability? Absolutely. Because you got to think about the annuals of time. Women the man, and that love word is so interesting, especially when you're talking about going back when marriages were what they call it, arranged, and it had nothing to do with love. You get what I'm saying? It had everything to do with your genes or
they could provide the way her father provided for her.
Exactly. And in some cultures and in some, like when you're talking about monarchies and stuff like that, they don't give a damn if you love that man or not. They're gonna marry you because your father, you marry him and you don't gotta like it, you don't gotta love it, but you lay down and you make sure you breathe, because at the end of the day, they weren't looking for love. They were looking for their kingdoms, to expanding their kingdoms and things like that. So there are so many, moving parts when it comes to that relationship and why it's happening to begin with.
That's why they say love isn't enough.
It isn't, and it will never be. Not for me.
Yeah.
It's a part of the foundation.
Yes.
And
that's something that has to be grown. That's something that grows. Like, you don't love a person immediately when you meet them, but what you can do is find out and see if that person is a good fit for your
for your
vision.
The love can grow, because
I
was going to get to that, because you'll hear people that's been married 34 years. No, I wasn't in love with that person. It was she looked like she could be a good fit, and 50 years later, he or she was.
Yeah.
Or they, them, and them was, or she, hers, and his was, or whatever you want to say these days. But it's not, love for me is, and this is just for me, is the least important component to a successful relationship. Because for me, it's trust.
That's what a man said.
Yeah.
70. I don't know his name. He said in his 70s. He said this yesterday. The first thing is trust. The foundation is, when we meet, do we connect on any level? Because I give you the trust straight out the break. Why? Because I trust that you're
going to be who you are.
Yep. Either you're a snake or a flower.
And
you're going
to have to trust myself to see what you're about and go from there.
Yeah.
Because, see, people get so caught up in this, I love, and, you can love a person and not respect them, not trust them, not value them. You get what I'm saying? And see, all those are the bricks. There's a lot of bricks to building that house that creates the relationship that's perfect for you. We got to get, and when in regard to relationship, we got to get our head out of the cloud, right? And I go back to the value part, right? As long as we understand our value, don't allow anyone to diminish our value, then we can glow and grow together.
Yeah.
A woman without financial means certainly still deserves to be loved,
and a partner
is capable of being loved, and has to get the right partner, because she may never be financially stable
without the right partner.
Without the right partner,
Yeah.
Because if she wants to be taken care of,
yes,
it is her right. I can remember coming up in a time where all of a sudden this I don't need a man and all this kind of stuff. So we had to be strong and independent, because the men from the pool that we had, it wasn't that they weren't, it was just the broken homes, the drugs, the gangs, and all this kind of stuff that was coming up through the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. And we now have women who independent. Throw your hands up at me. No. I'm not independent because I wanted to be. I'm independent because the society that I lived in killed my dream of wanting to be taken care of. And it made me feel like that was not supposed to be.
And then they're dressing it up and making it look as if it's powerful, enduring, and empowering, and they making it look luxury. At this point, everybody wants this lifestyle of independence, all the women, and it's just like, this ain't this stuff for the birds, because I'm presenting myself on this social media platform as if everything's okay, but then I'm struggling to pay the rent, the phone bill, the car note, because I'm doing this by myself. I'm just like, you know what, the hell with this. And in other cultures, the woman stays with the parents until the man comes and shows that he can provide.
Yeah.
And then that's when she move out. But everybody want their own place at 21 and 22. And I did that before, and guess what? I'm back home. I'm just like, I'm not doing
You're
this.
fortunate that you
I can go back home.
And you have a home. It's like real shit.
I was just like, this is, and I didn't even have to move out. I wanted the experience. My mom was like, no, you can stay until you do get married. You know, she said that. And I was like, no, I got it. I want the experience. And, and then I got sick, I got COVID, and I got backed out. I'm just like, oh, I can't do this by myself. This is a lot. And I'm trying to chase my dreams, which requires money too. I'm just like, Mom, can I come back home? And she said yes.
Yes, yeah.
So lesson learned there. And I would rather wait until I have that partner where, I'm not in a rush.
And that's cool. I'm glad you said that. But on the flip side of that, it is okay to be independent, to have your own, as they say, bag, to have your own career. However, what I notice is that these independent, financially able and stable women, a lot of them
don't want a man.
It's not that they don't want a man. They have, the coin has somehow flipped, and they're sitting in the seat of, well, I got all mine, and, the man got to have more than me, and or this, that, and the third. And they'll meet a man that's perfectly good, but may not have as much financially as them, and they diminish the quality and the value of that man because of what they have. Yes. So if don't stop, don't feel like you got to wait until you meet the perfect man to get. You get what I'm saying?
Whatever happens first.
I'm okay with it.
I'm still working.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And if it all happens at the same time, thank God.
Here's what happens a lot of, and you can see it. Again, TVR is my books. Like I don't sit. I'm not the avid reader. Never really have been. But you can see relationships where you have a partner where the woman comes into it and she's got all this good stuff going, and she finds it so hard because in the back of her mind, somebody done told her, oh, you got to have a man who got more than you or just as much and all this other kind of stuff. And she can't even respect a man unless he comes with a 7-figure income or something like that, because that's what she has. And so now she's missing out on an opportunity. Or you have some men that say, oh, I can't be with her if she don't have just as much as I have or more. And so they're missing out on a really good woman. This is what I'm going to say for me. I want them to have, so they can understand. I would like for them to have the same as me or more, because then they can understand what I go through dealing with all that I have or the lack that I have. Because see, if you go, say like you meet a guy today, he's a billionaire, right? Wouldn't it be lovely?
I wouldn't even, but honestly, I wouldn't even feel like, I wouldn't even feel comfortable.
Because why? Because
I don't want to say I don't think I do. I don't want to say I don't think I can get a billionaire. I deserve a man with money. But I would rather become a billionaire with my partner together.
You are cool. However, if you meet a billionaire today, if I meet one today,
I wouldn't feel comfortable.
I would get to know the person.
Yeah.
Right? If this person seemingly tries to either hold their money over my head, diminish my value because I don't really have the financial, because that's what I'm looking for. That's where the wealth lies for me.
Yeah.
The character. Yeah. Because ultimately, you got some billionaires out there, millionaires. I've not met any yet. But you have some who are not so full of themselves that they would diminish a person based on their finance. Because see, you could be a billionaire or a millionaire, but you know what me and you always gonna have in common? We was born one day and one day we're gonna die. So death is the great equalizer, not money. You know what I'm saying? Now, from a financial perspective, if all you can talk about is money, 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 that's a turnoff, right? Mm-hmm. I would like to meet the person that has everything and or nothing at all financially.
Can I be honest?
But the value for me is in the mental health of the person, the character, and how they treat me. Because you can have $1 billion and treat me like shit.
Can I be honest though? I feel like that question just shows me how I feel about myself and my situation, because I'm already thinking like I will be uncomfortable because one, I know my financial situation, I know where I am, and I'm following my dreams. My book is selling, but I'm not making enough to sustain myself right now, right? And I would feel is inadequate.
Inadequate, yeah.
I would feel inadequate.
And why? That was why my question goes back to why.
I would feel inadequate because I know where I am, and I just feel like he would require me to be at a certain level.
Get out your head.
Oh yeah.
Get out your head. Because if you meet the right billionaire wait a minute.
Because the whole time, what if that's what God really has for me and I'm really doing it?
And you like, well, I'm going to hell no, let me meet a billionaire. But I want to get to know the person because I don't want to feel trapped.
Yeah.
And the right person, whether they're a billionaire, a thousandaire, or a paycheckaire, the right person for you will increase you no matter what.
No matter what.
Because see, a lot of people in the times that we live in, they're putting the sole value from a financial perspective. When you meet a person, if you're not laughing more, if you're less concerned, if your circle of concern all of a sudden is bigger than your circle of influence, if now you're being inundated with thoughts of inadequacy because of this person, that ain't the right person for you.
Yeah.
And that you can meet a billionaire. And I'm not talking about from a financial person. I'm talking about when y'all just is y'all and y'all without the material things, without the goods in the game. If y'all sit in a space and you can talk to this person with ease and receive valuable input from this person that increases you. And when I say increases you, okay, you know what? Wait a minute. Yeah, that is a good idea. So now they are pouring into you in a way that money can't. Now they can pour into you financially to support your dreams. And that's it. But when it gets down to the raw, Michelle and I'm going to call him
Warhead.
Michelle and Warhead sitting there talking, right? Mm-hmm. And Warhead can't even give you anything that pours into your spirit and to your heart and to the core of who you are as a person, that lifts you up and builds you in some kind of way. Then his billions ain't going to matter much.
Yeah.
Because that's all he'll ever be. Mm-hmm. When it comes down to the love part, right? Those are the things that I believe forms what's called the in love. Mm-hmm. When y'all have a bond that this person pours into you in the silent, quiet moments without money even being a topic of conversation. Can this person comfort me without money? Can this person encourage me without money? Can this person motivate me without money?
Yes. Yeah.
Because if they can't, now some people are okay with that. You know what? They can't do none of that, but they got $1 billion that they're willing to give me or pour, to allow me access to. Because see, what I taught my daughter, don't get caught up in what somebody else got, because it ain't yours.
It's not yours.
And marriage don't solidify that. What they got now, they call it prenup. Because they want you to know that you ain't taking my money. As long as I'm happy with you, you can have access by what you ask for or what I provide. But let me see a billionaire get to know me and say, no matter how this, because see, everybody has a right to change their mind. No matter how this turns out. I got $100 million. You my wife. I'm transferring $50 million to you today as my wife. And that gets to be yours no matter what. Mm-hmm. That's dope. How often has that happened?
I know. See, I think I hope I have been holding myself back because of my mindset, which only keeps me at a certain level of men that I date. And the whole time I do desire to be taken care of as a wife. I want to be a wife and I want to be taken care of.
No matter what you got.
No matter what I have.
Yeah.
And I have been telling myself that is unattainable because of where I am.
Yeah.
And that's been holding myself back, and I've been attracting exactly that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's... Now I get it.
Yeah. And I'm glad that actually...
Now I get it.
Remember, we weren't even supposed to record today. I am glad that you asked the question. I am glad that we are recording this because, again, do not put your value on where you are right now.
Yeah.
Because you, like myself and a whole lot of other women, are sitting on various valuable gifts.
Yes.
One of our assets is our honey hole, of course. I'll call it that. And it should be sweet.
Yeah.
To the person that's for you. It ain't going to be sweet to everybody because, see, some people think their thing is lined with platinum, gold, and all things above. And that's okay. I'm not saying to devalue yourself because of what I'm saying out of my mouth. As a matter of fact, I'm saying quite the contrary. I want you to know that, yes, that's valuable, but it is not going to be to everybody. And for me, I have always desired to be taken care of by my man.
Mentally, spiritually, financially.
Decide what that is for you.
Yeah.
Because you could say, well, I want to be taken care of. What does that look like?
Yeah.
For me, it looks like a man that puts the toilet seat down. That when he asks me how I'm doing, he's really open to hearing how I'm doing. And if I'm not doing so well, please don't hit me with the one line of everything is going to be okay. Hit me with some information that's going to help me make everything be okay. Whether it be by myself or with you at my side. That is when I say I want to be taken care of. Now, the financial part, do I want a man who can take me traveling and stuff like that, who can buy a trip for me and say, baby, pack your bags? Yes, I do. But that ain't going to mean shit if when I come to you with my emotions and my feelings, I'm getting shot down. When I go into the bathroom, the toilet seat is up. When I tell you this is how I want things, you don't challenge it. You're going to do it. Why don't make you soft? That makes you strong. Because at the end of the day, you're giving me what I want. I want a man who knows me well enough to know, wait a minute. I know she like kitchen appliances. She like shit that she could just come in the house and be thoughtful. I don't want, it's not being taken, I'm not being taken care of when I got to tell you everything. I'm not being taken care of when you got to ask me what I want all the time. No, you're not a mind reader. However, get to know me well enough to know what I want sometimes, where I'm not always being asked. A few weeks ago, somebody put on Facebook, what do they want for Valentine's Day? I said, I want to be asked, not asked what the fuck I want for Valentine's Day. Now, mind you, is that a big deal to me to get shit on Valentine's Day? No. Why? Because I've never been showered on Valentine's Day before. So as opposed to sulking about it, what I did about it was say, you know what? It doesn't matter to me. And in the deeper core of me, it would matter. It does matter. Let me be honest with myself. However, I've become accustomed to not being showered with these things. Now, mind you, please don't bring me flowers and candy. I don't want that shit. Because the flower going to die and the candy, I don't even eat candy unless it's some really good dark chocolate. Bring me a little bit. I don't need a whole lot, But know me well enough to know what I will appreciate. I am not one of those, the thought that counts people. Because if you bring me some shit that I don't like, I'm going to be wondering, who are you thinking about? Or you go out of your way to go do some stuff. Know the person. And it's not that I don't appreciate that you thought about me or thought to do something for me. I just can't appreciate what you brought forth. know me well enough what to bring forth on these special occasions. Mm-hmm. And how do you do that? Surprise me throughout the year. If we ain't been Valentining all day, all year long, and then on Valentine's Day, you bring me some flower, glitter, and candy, and I'm looking at you like, what do you want me to do with that? Mm-hmm. Get to know me well enough. That's someone who takes care of me. Mm-hmm. Getting to know me. Because I'm sometimes going to ask you what you want, and sometimes I'm going to just try to figure it out. Because I like to surprise you with things that, well, wait a minute, babe, thank you. You was thinking about me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's what I mean by taking care of. Not just the financial aspect of it, because I want that too. And I don't give a shit if I ain't got a dime in the bank or if I got 10 million. Not that I'm greedy. I want somebody who thinks enough to not put stipulations on what they're going to do for me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because essentially what they do is diminish your value by saying, well, I got 100 million in the bank. And if she leaves tomorrow, she can't have none of that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because ultimately, what you're saying is, I'm not even worth it. Mm-hmm. I am worth all that and then some. Mm-hmm. If you bring out the best in me, by how you behave towards me, you, I promise you, will not regret it. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. You got to bring out the best in me. Yeah. I got to know that you're worth all that I'm willing to put into it. Mm-hmm. And you ain't got to be a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But pour into me. Let me know that I am on your thoughts. Be respectful of me at all times. When I come to you with my emotions, don't shit on them.
I was just thinking that. I feel like, I think my priorities of what I want to be taken care of is changing.
And it will as you
grow.
It'll grow.
So now it's like, that's why I said I got to be careful what I ask for. Because I got exactly what I asked for. Because I was focused on the physical. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, dang, my emotional and my mental. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I feel like emotional and mental, the two connect. You know, if your emotions are like they what is it, coincide with each other, like your emotions and your mental. So I feel like if he can take care of my emotions, I'm responsible for both. But
right.
If I express my thoughts to him and my emotions to him, and he's able to take care of that, then he's allowed access to my physical.
Right. And let me just piggyback on that thought. You are correct in saying that your emotional well-being is your responsibility. However, when you have a partner and you require that they value, is that the right word I'm looking for? Is it value that I'm looking for? Respect and honor that part of you. And value is not quite the word. What word am I looking for? It's not necessarily value it, right? But can be available to you in a healthy way.
Yes.
That you can express your emotions.
Yes.
And
provide
actually
space.
Receive some valuable input when you are dealing with your emotions that complement where you are to come out of a place. Because dealing with your emotions for most men it just doesn't happen a lot of times. Especially when they are emotionally immature. Right? You're not going to get fed from them on an emotional level because they're not even mature enough to deal with their own emotions, which is why they act out in so many different ways.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So if you have a man that is emotionally unavailable and he's not connected, he doesn't value you as being a partner, he's not going to have any emotional input for you anyway. He's not going to compliment you on an emotional level. Lack of commitment to you in your entirety, and or being emotionally immature, he's not going to have any value to you that way. So therefore, you're going to feel robbed emotionally, and then your mental state is off because it's like, God damn it, I can't even go to this and get a conversation going, or I can't express where I am with him because all I'm going to get is backlash, number one, or
he's going to reverse it back to me, or like,
well, he's not going to give you input.
He's going to gaslight you.
What you mean gaslight? What does that mean?
So
I'm sorry.
Gaslight is like, you tell a problem, and he'll say, you know what, you're just trying to start an argument. Don't argue. That's gaslighting.
That sounds familiar.
That's gaslighting. So they changed the
narrative,
the narrative, the attention back onto you, making it seem like that you're the problem, that you're the reason why this problem even exists.
Yeah,
and but you just told them what you had a problem with, what they're doing, but now it's my problem that you're doing it. That's gaslighting.
Okay, I'm very familiar with that.
Yeah.
Now that I know the terminology for it, I'm going to use that. So when a person is emotionally immature, they are going to gaslight you every time.
Yeah.
Every time. When a person is not your person, they're always going to diminish you based on the fact that they're not available to you in that way.
Right.
Anyway. So you're not going to get that.
Yeah.
When a person values you as the person that they care for and desire that intimate relationship and partnership, because I'm too mature to not put partnership with relationship because I desire a partner. I need to know that when I come to you, I can feel safe with you.
Yeah.
If you come to them with your emotional state of being, no matter where that is at that time, and you can't be safe with your emotions with that person, you're always going to be at war with that person. You're never going to have a good relationship with that person because they don't have the commitment to you and or the emotional maturity to deal with anyone, including you. Don't take that shit personal when that person is emotionally immature, and they not going to be, it don't matter who they with. They don't have the capacity to deal with your emotions because they can't even deal with their own.
Yeah, true.
So at the top of the hour, we talked about a woman's worth in a sense by saying, can she be loved if she's not financially stable? Yes, she can. Yes, she should be. And if you're the right person,
it wouldn't matter.
It doesn't matter what she has because you're going to add to what she has.
Yeah.
If that's nothing financially. But she has a beautiful smile. Guess what? She's going to be smiling more because of you. If she has the gift of cooking, and she's a beast in the kitchen, she's going to be cooking more because of you. You're not going to go asking her, do you need grocery money? Nigga, you know she need grocery money because she ain't got none. So don't keep asking her what she need. Be an observer of the woman that you choosing. And be honest with yourself. Don't pull a woman in with no financial capabilities and throw money at her and then leave her because you knew from the beginning that wasn't going to be enough for you. Same difference with a woman to a man. If you know you want more and this nigga broke, leave that nigga alone.
Yeah.
Because you got to love that person where they at right now because that shit might not ever change.
Yep.
I'm yelling again, my bad.
But
I'm passionate.
But we, especially what I used to do, stay in situations longer than I should have.
Absolutely, we all do it.
Because the hope of them changing, And my ex-boyfriend from high school, he said, people don't change, time does.
That's right.
And I was just like, ooh. And he is still the same. He is still the same.
He's that person. Yeah. He's a little bit more mature.
Yeah.
He's grown. And that I'm not trying to diminish the growth of a person, right?
Yeah, no, they can grow.
Yeah, they can grow, but they are like, who they are.
But then I also noticed that certain people bring out certain things in you.
Absolutely.
Because it's just like, I want to be the best version of myself. And there are things in me that is not so best, yes. Right? But if you always bringing out that, you're not the best for me.
You're absolutely right. And I'm so glad you said that, because that's what I'm talking about, the compliment.
Yeah.
We should compliment each other. If it's oil and water, we don't compliment each other. Yeah. Oil and water does not compliment each other in any way, shape, nor form, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be a problem. Oil too heavy for water, right? So at the end of the day, when you have a person who just doesn't compliment you, and you can find a compliment, for where I'm in my life right now, ain't no broke nigga gonna compliment my life. I don't give a fuck what else he got, because he gonna create more problems for me, because I am a caring person and I want to see you have. So right now, if I were to go out here and get somebody, no, he can't be financially trying to make it. No, he has got to have some form of financial ability, not stability, because what I've learned, especially being employed, there's no such thing as financial stability. There's financial ability. I have the ability to get and keep this job for whatever time, but it can be over just like that, and I ain't so stable. You get what I'm saying?
But what you're saying is that I can want that as well, even with where I am right now.
Hell yeah, you should want it. Remember a conversation we had? I don't know if it was last year, but it was a conversation we had before. And I'm not going to divert from my thought from telling younger women, get your worth. If you feel like if that's $1,000 every time you lay down with this man, get something out of it than hurt feelings and bitterness.
Yeah.
Decide for yourself. Don't let society tell you that, when I start developing that thought, it was this movie that I saw. Was it called something Oleander? These Asian women who sold their virginity, right? Now, mind you, I ain't for no kid being sold. I'm talking about a woman who saved herself and was able to save herself. Because, see, again, my first time was not because it was choice. It was by force.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So a woman who was able to save herself and became a woman and had the choice to say, you know what? I'm going to save my virginity until I meet someone who can pay me top dollar for it. It might not be your husband. It might be a billionaire. Remember that movie? What was it with Demi Moore? Well, you might not. I'll be forgetting that. But the guy offered, what was it? It was, I forgot, but the Robert Redford, I think, was the actor who was a millionaire. I might be having the actors wrong. But it was like he offered this man $1 million to sleep with his wife. If me and my husband broke and a millionaire come and offer him $1 million to sleep with me, baby, you better take that $1 million, go do what you gotta do. Because this is going to change our situation. He's about willing to pay $1 million for something he's seen. He don't even need to be kidding. I think we better take that $1 million. Talk to me about it now. Don't just go make talk to me about it. Because if we at the casino with our last $20 trying to hit the jackpot and this nigga we just did, I would be open to something like that. Right? But the man, most men can't even handle that. Now, he can't give you $1 million. And he going to benefit from the $1 million because we going to still be together. But he can't handle that somebody else is going to be with his woman. I was not now the only man that should probably feel like that is if you're the only one who ever had your wife, then you might have. But if she wasn't the virgin, But going back to these Asian women, their virginity is being sold. I'm only for that if it's an adult woman who has chosen to save herself for that purpose. Get something other than hurt feelings and bitterness
I know,
because that's precious.
Girl, because I have been in relationships where I ain't got nothing out of it financially, but I did get a broken heart. I did cry some tears.
Yeah.
And but I didn't get them invested in me. They didn't invest in me. They didn't provide. They didn't. They didn't. And I'm left with
nothing. They couldn't even pour into you something that you could take, because see, that's important. All
I have is lessons, right? And that's cool. Lessons is cool. Like I'm grateful for the growth and the lessons and the wisdom that I'm gaining. But lessons ain't gonna make these bills get paid.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, just the opposite. And ain't you getting tired of? It's always open for learning.
I'm getting tired of walking out of here with nothing.
Exactly.
Denzel said, "I'm gonna leave here with something."
Something, and
I'm
going
to live here. I'm gonna leave here with something.
That's the whole message.
That's the message.
Leave the relationship with something. If you get with somebody and all they talk about is bird brain shit all the time, keep it pressing, because you're not gonna get no more than that out of them. Like, you ever meet somebody and it just seems like all they do is complain. Ain't nothing right with the world. And you're like,
yes, I dated a guy.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What are you going to get from that?
Nothing.
The relationship should be mutually beneficial.
Yes.
Right? If there are no millionaires in the room, that's cool too. But let's have some million dollar conversations.
Yes.
Something that leaves me built up as opposed to torn down. You get what I'm saying? Something that sparks something in me that says, you know what? Wow. Okay, I can look at something different. Leave the relationship with something other than a broken heart and bitterness. Because that's what happens. And then what happens? The next, you done attracted the same old. And then everybody's a problem but you, because you keep choosing to stay in relationships or take yourself out of the bar scene or stop hanging around broke ass people.
Go where the millionaires are.
Go where the millionaires are, because guess what? You're going to learn something. I used to feel like, okay, and that's for the purpose of learning.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? See how they move. Watch what they buy. Listen to the conversations that they have. And even in those rooms, if you're not feeling that you are better off for it, keep going. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get very uncomfortable when I'm in high rooms. Like I'm just like, I don't even match their caliber as far as financial. But I do. That's what I think.
But you do.
I do.
You do not have their financial portfolio.
I don't. Yeah.
And you'll never have it if you keep ejecting yourself from the room.
I know.
Because I want to be seated at some tables where some stuff other than what's happening in the hood. All that shit is good, because I told you I'm bad, bougie, and good in the hood. I'm all of that. But I want to be in some different rooms, being a part of even an earshot of different conversations. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously the rooms that I've been in ain't been getting me nowhere, because I'm still in the same spot that I've been for a long time, right? Yeah. So it's okay to be and get comfortable with listening, not to your own voice telling you that you don't belong here, but get comfortable with not only being in this room, knowing that you have something to offer in that room, but listening to the conversations being had. And if you're moving about the room and you hear conversation that pique interest, listen for a little while. Because leave that room with something other than the idea that you don't belong there. Because that's a lie. You do belong there. Yeah. You do belong there. Right?
Because if I didn't, I wouldn't be there.
You wouldn't be there. And I can understand the feeling of inadequacy when it comes to being in a room that you feel like you shouldn't be in. The rooms that I'm very uncomfortable in now? The rooms where ain't shit happening but drinking, gossip, talking about what somebody else doing. I'm real uncomfortable in them rooms, and I don't stay there long anymore. Yeah. Because being in those rooms, being the most valuable person in the room, you ain't never going to go. You ain't never going to grow. You ain't never going to expand. You ain't never going to get no ideas that's going to help you. That's where you should be uncomfortable. Not in rooms with millionaires, because you are a millionaire. You're sitting on all your gifts.
Yeah. Yep. I am one.
You are.
I am.
It's just not in the bank yet.
Someone told me that yesterday. A stranger.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the rooms that you should feel extremely uncomfortable, and I know we've been on here for a minute, you know what I mean?
But we're gonna continue
but
this conversation.
We're gonna continue this conversation.
And we still we still talked about money.
Money.
And we still did it. And we talked about money and relationships.
Yeah,
and we wanted to do it. See how
it just worked out, you know. And ultimately, like I said, at the end of the day, all of this is about healing, getting input, giving, putting out. Because we are putting out. Giving people, including ourselves. Because remember, this started as a result of us.
Yeah.
Needing to grow and expand our thoughts, our territories, our belief in ourselves. Being real with ourselves and sharing, so that it's like in this conversation, I feel better for it. I'm glad I had it. You know what I mean? And this is where we're going with this. We're having these conversations of healing, helping, and hope. But we're not just having the conversations. We're actively doing it. And when we can share that with others, that's amazing. You know what I'm saying? So our goal is going to always be met because we're in it. It's happening. We're doing it. The far-reaching, how far we get to reach is just going to be, like this time next year, we're going to be having different conversations because I can't believe it. Remember last night we were saying, I was saying, I'm not pressed to go out tonight because it's not for a purpose. I want to be, when I go out, it to be beneficial to myself and others.
Yeah.
Period. But guess what? Mostly me. It's okay to be selfish.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah. Because I am in the period and in the phase of growth and growing and coming out of where I've been. But you never want to be the most valuable person in the room until you reach like Oprah status or something, and you can't help but be the most valuable person in the room.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you'll never be the most valuable person in the room if you keep hanging out in rooms where you're the most valuable.
Yeah.
That's the message. And without a dime in my pocket, what am I? The shit. And that's just how that rolls.
And the mic drops. And we out of here.
And we out.
That was good.
You know what I'm saying?
That was good.